Well, if you're going to be flying, might as well do it first class. Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? Black Zana here with another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at is the Transformers Generations Combiners Wars Autobot Silverbolt. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost is a quick look at the packaging. So just grab the box here. So on the front of the box we've got a picture of Silverbolt in robot mode. Words Combiners Wars Sliverbolt. Ages 8 and up. Don't let anyone under the age of 7 get a hold of this. You got Transformers on the side. Autobot logo. So, packaging wise, pretty much the same blueprints and a plastic holding tray. So raise the camera up a bit. On the side of the box, you got an Autobot symbol inside the meteor. Basically the same on top, on the side. A picture of Superion. Yeah, looks like him. So, of course, he is part of Superion. He makes Superion. 3 of 5. So, need 5 robots in order to make him. On the back of the box, you've got your obligatory product shots. You've got the Silverbolt is switching from vehicle to robot only in 15 steps. On the side, what you need in order to make Superion. You can swap robots for limb. So, but you need Silverbolt right in the middle. He's a core. What do you expect? Warning! Choking hazard. Small parts will be generated not for children under the age of 3. Well, you see that? Gotta keep those toddlers out of the way. So, keep them out of reach. On the very top, let's see here. Under Silverbolt's name, if I can just get this lighted up a bit. The leader of the aerial bots forms the core of the teams combined to form Superion, a single-minded force bent on only on a Decepticon destruction. So, unfortunately, my words are not doing me justice. So, if you want to pause the video to read this, knock yourself out. Okay. So there you go. And pretty much underneath, nothing much. So this is just it. So that'll be it for the packaging, and oops, hopefully nothing's broken there. Okay. So onto the figure itself. It seems I can realign the camera here. So one thing I did forget while showing off that box is that he also comes with a collector's card. So, as you can see, it's more of a dynamic figure of Silverbolt himself. So, on the back, no stats. Just what you expect. Transformers Generations, all rights by Hasbro. So I basically had this guy since I got him a few years ago. I've been meaning to review him, but lots of build-up going on, daily life and so forth. At least I'm finally catching up. So with Silverbolt, he is basically the main core that makes up Superion, as mentioned before. I do like him in a way. As you can see, he's got a whole bunch of details going on, but as far as underneath, it's all that robot kibble. So, nothing much there I can complain about. carries the Autobot symbol on each wing, so we know who he belongs to. He does come with a few additional items. So one would be this little mini shield, and it does have a certain molded wheel on it. And he also comes with this long barrel blaster with a molded scope. I really don't know what's up with that. I just don't. So what you can do here is you can combine the two. Give him a really big gun. Of course, this is mostly used for Superion when you combine the two. However, if you flip it upside down, you'll notice that these two handles, or pegs here, and you take Sliverbolt, just flip up this front wheel in its vehicle mode, and of course this is also molded, but it does have a nice peg hole at the bottom. And I see it's starting to... Is it cracking? Must be the other one. Okay. I'll have to be careful with that. Okay. Just plug in one, plug in the other. Don't try to force this in all the way, otherwise you may end up breaking it. Like I have. And in doing so, Sliverbolt can carry the weapon and as a vehicle form and just use it as a shotgun. Although we rarely see him doing this back in the G1 version. Speaking of which, he does look a bit G1, I think. But I think his original form was more of a Blackbird. I don't know. I just really don't know. So, although throughout this entire figure, I do love his vehicle form. So, and I see I've got some paint chipping. That's too bad. Oh well. Based upon aesthetics, it looks like some sort of plane, obviously, but it's not really too bad. So now on to transformation. As you can see, I've already got the two weapons off of Sliverbolt. I'm starting to get tongue-tied. I shouldn't be doing that. Okay. So what you want to do here with this figure is that first you want to take the back wing here, and this very top one, and just, you can just rotate it down to any one side. You can move it towards the right, and move it towards the left. Yeah, whichever is your preference, but hey, it's your choice. Next, you're going to take the entire front assembly here and on a double hinge. Just move one side up and then all the way in the back. And you're basically done with that. You don't need to do anything else. However, if you want, you can move this nose cone straight up. It's basically made of rubbery soft plastic, and so is the tip. I try not to fiddle with them, but it's okay. Next up is going to raise up the wings. So how's that going to happen is, I'm going to do this one, raise it up a bit, is that there's a certain tab here that you just untab from this little slot in the arm, and you're going to raise it up on this hinge, and you're going to take this part of the neck, and It's going to act like a tab here, and it will just go into this little slot within the wing. So, do one side first, if it'll just go in. Okay, there you go. And that's basically done. Same thing for the other side. Untab and retab. And there you have is Sliverbolt's backpack. Why he has a big backpack like that, I will never know. Who am I to complain? Next up, raise the arms. They're kind of on a... Oh wait, no they're not. I thought they were on a ratchet joint. They're not. They're soft swivels. So once you raise up the arms somewhat, just swivel them around at 90 degrees, and you're basically done right there. Next up, take this part. Let's see. I'll come around back here and show you. What's going to happen is there's a sort of a slot just right where my thumb is, or at least you can see above it, and you untab it from this tab. So next up, unfold on a double hinge, and they'll just turn this into a leg somewhat. Come to the inside and push out this panel that'll turn into a foot. It's becoming really stubborn with me now. Okay. Then there's a panel inside the panel. That'll be your heel spur. And just to cover this all up, just fold this in. Rotate on a thigh swivel, bring it down, and you basically have a leg. Second verse, same as the first. Untab, unfold, unfold, and flip out this heel spur, close up the leg, rotate. Let's see if I can get him standing up. Got that done. Bring the arms down. Oh, those are ratchet joints right there. Oh, yep, those are ratchet joints. I knew they had to be in there somewhere. And I'm going to raise the camera up because for the last step, just get into him. You open up this chest plate, and this panel will just rotate around, which will have the head. Close it up, and there you have is Sliverbolt. And I've got to say, he looks quite nice. Getting with Sliverbolt's appearance, I would have to say he's very G1. Despite with all the white, black, and orange, especially with the red chest plate and silver, it doesn't look too bad, especially with all the details. Now, with him being as a core, he does make up the centerpiece for Superion. But we'll get to that in another video. So, as you can see, I've already attached his gun and little shield onto his arm. The only problem I have with his gun right now is that it looks kind of crooked, I say. Well, I don't know. It's been like that ever since I got them out of the box. So I wish I could fix it, but I'm scared that it might break. So articulation for Sliverbolt. Well, he's got basically 90-degree elbow on each arm. Bicep swivel. Arms can go about in and out on a ratchet. Not very tight, but it's good. Shoulders can do about a 360 on a ratchet. And that's not too bad either. Head is currently on a ball joint. So you can make it look up, you can make it look down. Turn it right, left. Or did I just reverse those directions? Left, right, left, right. I've got to... I'm not looking at myself in the mirror. Oh well. He does not have a waist swivel, mostly because of transformation purposes. So, and again, you'll see why in the next video. Legs, they can... Oh, there's even ratchet joints there. Can go about in and out, 90 degrees. So either way. Forward motion. Oh, and those are ratchet joints too. I forgot about that. Oh, look at me, I'm topsy-turvy right now. But, yeah. Move him up forward, you can get him that far. If you try to move him back, this part will just get in the way, so doesn't do you much. So, thigh swivel, as shown before from transforming. And he does have somewhat of a, I want to say a double knee joint, or just a, if you want to just have a single knee joint. So that's basically up to you. And I wish he had a pivot motion in the feet, but no dice. So I think you can move him slightly down to get a few decent poses out of him, but yeah, this is all you get. But it still works out. He is kind of a really nice toy. So let's see if I can just get him his legs. And get him into something more dynamic. So that looks about right. So, that looks a bit dynamic enough. So, but anyway, yeah. So if you're willing to collect this or already have it, I say this guy is pretty much worth, well, not worth less, but he is worth it. Now, before I head off, I'm going to bring in the rest of the Superion team. So, Sliverbolt we already have. Here's Skydive. Bring in Firefly. So, in fact, I'll arrange them. These two. There they are. Next up, Alpha Bravo. And then, lastly, is Air Raid. So, this is basically the entire team I have for making Superion, and I've got to say, I happen to like all of them. So, next up is Superion's combined form with all of them. And this is Black Xana saying, until then, tower deactivated, and I will see you all until next time. Bye. You called for me, Optimus?
Yes, Sliverbolt. I have a job for you. You're to fly out and spy on the Decepticons. We need to know when they're planning their next attack.
Oh, I don't know about that, sir. I mean, I'm kind of afraid of heights. Wouldn't it be better if you just send over Grimlock or Jess to do it?
No, I'm afraid I've sent Jazz to get ingredients for pizza bagels, and he hasn't been back yet. But, about Grimlock.
Yes, sir?
You haven't seen him around here lately, have you?
He's right behind you, sir.
What? Horsey Prime! Horsey Prime! Grimlock!
I'm not a horseback!
Ride you! Horsey Prime! Horsey Prime!
Get away from me, I say! I'm not a horseback! Leave me alone!
Come back, Horsey Prime!
I said no!
Me Grimlock ride you into battle! Go fight
I'm a
the
prime, for
Decepticons!
Pete's sake!
Horsey
I'm
Prime!
a leader! Go fight the Decepticons on your own!
Come back, Horsey Prime! Me Grimlock ride you!